Looks like we are live. Looks like YouTube is live now. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. This is Ozzy Simoes with a noon live. I am a couple of minutes late. I do apologize. I seem to be having technical difficulties every day, but it will get resolved and it will get better. But noon, 12 o'clock, live in English about small business growth, and specifically and especially small business growth in 2020 amid the pandemic that we are going through. So I don't know how many people are going to get in right now, but hopefully we can get a few people in. Don't forget, these lives are going to stay recorded on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. All my channels pretty much right now. YouTube is Ozzy Simoes. Just look on YouTube for Ozzy Simoes, and you will. And then I encourage you to subscribe and get, click off the little bell so that you can get all the notifications as soon as I go live. I will get better. I will get better at announcing the lives. It's just that I have my businesses to run, and then I'm doing this. So eventually I'll have a team that'll probably take care of this, and you'll get a lot more notifications and everything as I go live. But right now, I encourage you, please subscribe to my channels, because that is how you're going to get the notifications right away. You'll be there on the phone and you'll get them. And Instagram, obviously my Instagram is Ozzy Simoes. And Facebook, I am using my personal Facebook page right now, and I continue to mention because I still have all my friends and family on there. Eventually, I will go to the Go It's Yours for the Taking Facebook page under my name, Ozzy Simoes, and that is the business page that I will probably be, broadcasting from. But eventually, I probably won't even be on Facebook anymore. I'll just use Instagram and YouTube, because those are the two platforms that will give me more flexibility on getting the message out in a more powerful way. All right. So this is now Thursday. Okay. This is the fourth day I'm going live. I have made a commitment to go live every single day of the week, Monday through Friday, unless I'm traveling or unless business appointments do not allow me at a specific time. But then I'll still try to do it at night, as I have been in the past few days. And I would like to give you as much of what I have learned from personal experience and from consulting with other businesses on how to establish, build, and grow your business. And although this was a dream of mine for a while, when I started off at the beginning of 2020 to really put things into action, I did not anticipate a pandemic to come along. It did come along, and so that actually, in a way, helped me, because now I am able to help you in a different way. Chances are, if the pandemic wasn't going on, you probably wouldn't be as much of a need, possibly, with your small business to find solutions, to have somebody tell you what I've been telling you in the past few days, if you've been watching, which is mentality. I'm going to get into that again, as I promised. If you've watched the past couple of days, I want to, at least for the rest of this week, which ends tomorrow, want to talk to you about mentality and having an open mindset. In order for when I do start teaching you strategies and things that will really help your business grow, well, then you'll be able to completely put those into action, because you'll have an open mindset. You won't be focused on, in this case, what is the biggest boulder that stands in front of not only small businesses, but many people around the world. Even if you're not a small business owner, you're just an employee somewhere. And what's having an opening mindset will help you is to, whatever I teach, whatever I overflow onto you to help you with your small business, or even with your life in general, what will happen is you will be able to take those seeds that I'm planting on fertile soil, and they can grow and germinate and grow into potentially bigger, better businesses than what you have today. Or maybe even just start your small business. Or there will be a lot of stuff, and everything that I teach you here about small business is actually applicable to life in general. Okay, so it's not just for small businesses, but who knows if maybe I can spark something in your mind that will open up a key, open up an idea, kind of give you a vision of something that could turn into a small business eventually. And who knows, maybe that small business could turn into one of tomorrow's big businesses. Don't forget, folks, every single humongous big business that you see today, literally all of them started small. Literally, I can say 100% of them, because there are some businesses that some rich people decided to start, and they started on a level that, a single one-man show did not start. Okay. So Walmart, one of the biggest businesses in the United States today, Amazon, Facebook, being a digital type business, started with just Mark Zuckerberg and his buddy, coding and stuff like that. Today they have thousands of employees. Google, Apple, Microsoft, all of these businesses started with one or two individuals with a dream, with a passion, okay? And they put that into action, and they were able to grow the business into what it is today. Who knows? I may be talking to someone right now that will eventually become one of those businesses. But you may start in your garage, on your kitchen table, in your basement, okay, of your home, and you grow that into something that is extraordinary and big. All right, might be in your bedroom, okay. So, important thing for you to remember is what I've been teaching this week, and I want to continue to encourage you and help you open your mind. Mindset is the founding thing, reason, recipe, whatever you want to call it. If you don't have the correct mindset about your life and your business and your family and whatever it is, if you do not have the correct mindset, I didn't bring my water today because I forgot, so hopefully I don't choke too often. But if you do not have the correct mindset, what's going to happen is that you will not be able to see opportunities, even when they are standing straight in front of you, looking you in the eye. You will not see those opportunities because your mindset is focused on something else. It's rooted somewhere else. Okay, so very important. You have to have an open mindset, an open mind, an open mentality in order to see opportunities, even and especially during a time that we are going through right now, which is called a pandemic, which happens to be worldwide. Stuff like this happens on a circular way. It's not the first time that the world has gone through a pandemic, and it will not be the last time. It will not be. It doesn't matter how great technology is, doesn't matter how great medicine and science and biology increases and gets to the point to look at where we are. 2020, some of the most advanced medical science that exists, some of the strongest drugs, most potent drugs that are helping cancer patients, AIDS patients, stuff that before would annihilate and kill people in very short periods of time. Now these drugs are able to give people a chance of a longer life. Even sometimes it's a few more months, few more years. Some people actually are able to get completely cured and healed from those diseases that I just mentioned, and many, many others. All right. Yet a pandemic has settled into the world that is changing. The 2020, when people talk about 2020, it's going to simply be before 2020 and after 2020. This year 2020 is marking it's going to be a landmark. It's going to be something that is going to be referred to for as long as the earth remains. That 2020 is going to be a year that is going to be remembered. How you get through 2020 and 2021, 22, 23, whatever, will depend on your mentality, your mindset, and the mind that you offer to yourself and the world, okay, to plant good seeds right now. And I want to continue to talk about this because this is important. Whether you're a small business owner, whether you're an employee in a small or large business, if you're sitting at home waiting for your business to get, back in whether you're working from home or working, waiting, to get back into the office and so on. If you are watching the news, okay, chances are if you're watching the news, you're not watching me. That's one thing, that's for sure. All right. But if you're watching the rectangle, all right, that box, that panel that sits on your wall, okay, it's no longer a box. It used to be a box before. But if you're watching that rectangular panel on your wall, on your counter, wherever it is, and you're watching cable networks, very, very, very likely the chances of you succeeding in anything in 2020 are very limited, very, very limited, because that is all negative, fear-driven news that you're receiving. Okay. If you've watched any of my other lives, any of my other videos, I have made a very firm decision not to watch. In fact, past couple of days, I've walked into places that the news was on, and I literally have to either put my earphones on or whatever to 100% block off what's going on, okay? Because that is not going to help me in my lives here. If I come out here and I start telling you about how many more cases are in your state, in your country, in your planet, in your wherever of COVID-19, it's not going to help you focus on solving your solution, your business, your life. It's not going to help. It's not. I'm assuming, okay, but I have friends that have had the COVID, COVID-19. They got COVID-19. Fortunately, they've all survived. They've all recovered, okay? But if you have it, then take the precautions and the medicine, whatever you have to get rid of that from your body as quickly as possible. But then don't focus on that. Don't continue focusing and being fearful of that anymore. Go forward and open up your mind and look at the opportunities that will help you, your family, your business, if you're a small business owner, or your job. Okay. If you're in a job situation, let me just tell you something. If you're in a job situation where you're an employee somewhere, you may be the key. You sitting right there, okay, at home, waiting for the office to open, waiting for the business to open. You may have the solution for your business, the job, the business that you work at, to maybe come out of COVID with a new innovation, with a new idea. But you're fearful, you're scared, you're just watching the news, and possibly that idea, that opportunity that's in your mind, that is there, okay, it's already there, okay, you're just not allowing it to grow because you're not watering it and you're not doing anything to make it grow, all right, because you're watching negative, fearful information. What's going to happen is you won't get it out. If you do get it out, you could be the one that saves your boss's company. You could be the one that saves your own job and everybody else's job that works with you at this company. So very important, very important. As long as you watch the news, okay, you are not going to be able to have a fertile mind, fertile mentality, a fertile mindset to see things with a new opportunity. It's a scientific fact. If you can prove me wrong on that, then I would really, really appreciate you writing me. My email is ozzy@ozzysimoes.com, or write a comment in one of the platforms that I'm on. Okay, and explain to me how you are able to get to watch the news every day, to be filled with negative information about all the new cases of COVID and all the new deaths and the amount of deaths around the world, in your city, in your country, in your neighborhood, whatever it is, and how that has positively helped you to grow your business, grow your life, grow your family's well-being. Help me, because if there's a way, then I'm obviously going to be enlightened about something that I didn't know. Okay, so very important, guys. I want to talk about this at least for one more day. Mentality, mindset. mentality, mindset has to be open. When it's open, everything in front of you is an opportunity. Everything. If I had, when COVID hit, if I had a closed mentality, okay, I would have stopped in my tracks, because my business plan, my business ideas, what I was going to do when I wrote the Small Business Destruction Guide, is not what I'm doing right now. It is not what I'm doing right now. I had a completely different plan. I did not have a plan of being in front of you on all these medias, okay, in order to help your business get out of a pandemic situation, okay? It was more geared to, all right, I'm going to start teaching you and helping you with all the tools to get your business to the next level. Okay, now I have to help you first break down all the destructive mentalities that are being created because of the pandemic. Okay, and try to get you into a situation that you are able to receive the seeds that I can plant in your mind. So in order to get to that level of growth, survival, and so on. So with that, okay, and I mentioned this yesterday, I'm going to mention it again today, because I know that not everybody that may have watched yesterday or have watched the video yesterday or what is watching today. But I want to be a little bit repetitive, because repetition is the mother of skill. Okay, maybe the more you hear what I say, the more it'll open up your mind, and that's my goal. Okay, so if your business was really hurting before COVID, okay, chances are it could die. It could die. Closing a business, okay, does not mean that the opportunities are gone, that you are completely done. That's it. It's the end of the road, and that's it. There's no more hope. No, maybe closing your business is the beginning of the actual business that you're passionate about, that you are really, really going to be successful at and be prosperous with. Okay, maybe abandoning or shutting down that business that you have now that maybe is no hope. Okay, because even the title of these lives and what I'm trying to do here is a small business growth in 2020. Okay, maybe yours is dead. Maybe it was dead before COVID, and you just have to bury it now and give it its final blessing and take off, and then go and do something that you're passionate about. Very important. Okay, very important. And this is what I'm doing as I speak with you. What type of business can you start if you don't have one? Can you get going with if you have to, bury yours, the one that is no longer alive and has no hope for? Or if you are in one and, there is hope for it, great, awesome. Maybe what I'm going to say is not for you. But you have to ask yourself, why? Why do you want to do what is burning inside your heart, what you're passionate about? This is my why. Okay, because for many, many years, I started my first small business when I was 16 years old. What's a small business? It's when you have an idea, okay, and you can either start a service or sell a product in order to help or bless somebody else's life or to solve somebody's problem, okay? So that's what a small business technically becomes, is when you exchange a product or a service in exchange for money, okay? Or some people, barter their services and their products, okay? But it's same thing, something of value, okay? Most people, the greater majority of people, will exchange their service or their product for cash, for something monetary. Okay, and that technically becomes a small business, all right, where you're the person with the service or the product. Okay, so that was my first one at about 16, 17 years old, when I was designing for a big bank corporation the signs for all their locations. So I was exchanging my services to the bank. They would pay me for every design that I would make for them. So from there, then I, always had some type of a small business, even when I was working for full time for, corporations. I would always have my weekend small businesses doing something, making money on the side, exchanging my services or my time for that. Okay. So if you have a passion for something, something that is easy for you to do, something that comes easily for you. One of the guys that I like to watch his videos and I follow is Steve Harvey. So Steve Harvey, almost guaranteed, is known around the world. A couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago, he made a humongous blunder, which if those that didn't know Steve Harvey definitely got to know him afterwards, where he read the wrong name in the Miss Universe finals. Okay, so he called out the wrong Miss Universe. Well, that blunder, if you didn't know Steve Harvey, okay, almost certainly you knew him afterwards. Well, Steve Harvey had a passion, a dream, a desire to be on TV. Okay. And even though he was laughed at school, if you go and Google his videos, his teacher pretty much sent him home and with a note to his parents, because he basically said, when the teacher asked, what do you want to do when you grow up? And he said, I want to be on TV. Everybody laughed at him, including the teacher. Well, he pretty much says that now he sends that teacher a new flat screen TV every year, because he's literally on TV, at least in the United States, every day at multiple hours of the day. Every day, multiple hours of the day. So that's Steve Harvey. He's one of the guys that actually inspired me to do what I'm doing. Because, why? Well, he's a comedian. He started off as a comedian. He's a funny guy. It was easy for him to make people laugh. So, if you make people laugh and it's easy for you, you're making jokes and you're telling jokes and you make people laugh, well, naturally, you're going to want to make money out of that, to make a career out of that, because it's easy for you to do it. Stand up on a stage and you make people laugh and they pay you. Well, that's an awesome way to make a career out of it, correct? So that is just one simple idea, okay, of someone, okay, who had a dream, a passion for something, but it wasn't easy for him. Go back and, like I said, Google his videos, okay, go on YouTube and put in Steve Harvey and watch some of the videos of where he talks about his struggle to get to where he is today. But he never gave up. For me, I have a passion for small businesses. And over the years, this is why in 2012-13, I wrote the contents page of my Small Business Destruction Guide was written around 2012-2013, where I had really got frustrated seeing small businesses that unnecessarily were shutting down. Okay, this was in the backlash of the 2008 collapse of the world markets due to the housing market, and created that small pandemic. Nothing compared to what we're going through here, but and definitely no deaths, and that was obviously different in that sense. This is more of a medical, a life-threatening pandemic we're going through. That was financial crisis that we went through. But in 2012-13, I really got frustrated watching so many businesses close down without reason. It's because they did have a good product, they did have a good service, and yet they were closing down. So in just a few minutes, I scribbled down in this notebook that I have here. This is it. This is the exact scribbling I did in 2012-2013. Okay, the outline of the Small Business Destruction Guide. Not all the topics that are here that were written out, okay, are in the book, but I was able to write that in order to now, at the beginning of the year, I decided, I was looking for something else in my notebook, and I found the outline, and I was like, this is a great time to write that book. I did not know the pandemic was going to come around. In fact, I had already started writing the book. It had been like a couple of weeks. I'd spent a few days started writing the book, and the pandemic hit. It actually accelerated. I immediately got, because I have a fertile, open mindset, open mentality, what happened is I was able to take that immediate opportunity. One of my businesses that had to shut down because of the pandemic, I went in there. I because where was I going? I was going to either libraries. Okay, I was going to either libraries to write the book, because I have to, being a slightly OCD perfectionist type person at home, when I'm at home, it's very hard, because I'll walk past something and I'll either have to clean, I'll either have to organize, I'll either have to do something, and so I get easily distracted. ADD, ADHD, that's what I write about that in the book too, and I mentioned it in a video this week. So I'm very distracted. So I have to go into environments that do not distract me. Okay, so if I can lock myself or get into a corner of a library or into a place that there's nobody distracting me, nothing for me to clean, nothing for me to organize, chances are so one of my businesses closed down because of the pandemic. I was able to write this in lightning speed. I used to go there from the morning till the evening. I would just buy snacks, drink water, and that's how I'd spend my whole day. And in just a few weeks, I finished writing the book. It took me, another few weeks to format it. I did everything, all the formatting and publishing, everything myself. You can do that. I will teach you this. I will teach you how to do this. Okay. And there is a friend of mine in Australia who actually has a course. She has a course that'll teach you not only how to write a book, but so to get deeper, if that's something you want, then I will refer her to you, and you can then get her course, and she can teach you more in depth, not only how to get the ideas, but also the tools and everything onto writing a book. I can teach you the basics, okay, but I haven't created a course for that. But so that's what the Small Business Instruction Guide. Going back to passion, my why. Why do I want to do what I'm doing? I want to do what I'm doing because if you know the numbers and the statistics, and the introduction talks about that, in the United States alone, there are almost 31 million small businesses, of which it makes up 99.9% of the businesses in the United States. When I saw those stats, it was actually after I wrote the book. And then when I was writing the introduction, I went to do some research in the Small Business Administration website, and I was like, my goodness, I hadn't gone in there and looked at those stats before. But 99.9% of the businesses in the United States are considered small businesses. Businesses 1 to 500 employees, okay? And above that are considered big businesses. Guys, the numbers are like this. If you don't understand what 0.01% are, there's about 3,000 to 3,100 big businesses in the United States. Okay, so those are businesses above 500 employees, and 99.9% are almost 31 million businesses. The sad thing is, and this is where my passion comes into helping small businesses, is that the statistics are that within the first 2 years, 24 months, over 50% of the businesses close down. And by year 5, like 90% of those small businesses will close down. I believe that those stats also include businesses that may have existed for a while, but I know that the SBA does keep the count of the 0 to like 72 months, which is 5 years. And it's like 90%. My passion, my goal, my desire is to, if I could just help, just tone down a little bit of those percentages, just a little bit, 5%. We're talking hundreds of thousands of businesses. Do you understand that? So that's my dream. That's my passion. If I could just put a little ding into the numbers of the businesses that are shutting down, small businesses that are shutting down due to simple, I'm going to use a word here that I don't like to use, stupid mentalities that maybe are ingrained in people's minds that they don't even know they have. If you read this book, hopefully I'll open up your mind. You'll say, oh my God, I'm doing something stupid like that. Let me change that. And it'll give you an opportunity to have a new perspective and change your course so that you're not going into a destructive business destruction mode. Okay. So that's my goal. That's my passion. That's my desire. All right. My goal, I like to repeat this so that anybody that's watching can at least understand why I'm doing this, where I'm going with this. Okay, I'm not charging for any of this. I'm just doing an overflow of what I've learned and all the experiences in my life so that I can help you. Why? Because this is a challenging time. people need help, not only in their small businesses, in their lives, and also in their families. Okay, and that's my goal. That's my desire. So my goal is to, by the end of 2020, by the December 31st, to be able to have or help, okay, in as much or as best as possible, at least one business. If I can influence one business to change, to grow, to start, whatever, then I will be happy. But my goal is 100 businesses. That's my goal. Okay. I hope I surpass that goal. Okay. Goals are where you put your feet on. It's your jumping point. It's not, for me, 100 is not the ceiling. It's where I want to jump off from. Okay. So it's my springboard. All right. So that is it, folks. I have made a commitment not to go beyond the 35. We're at 35 minutes roughly. Okay. And I do not want to go beyond 35, maybe max 40 minutes on these lives, because I want you to get back to work, get back to life, and get back to whatever you're doing. But stick with me. Please subscribe to my channels. Okay. Especially Instagram. If you like a flat out Instagram fan, and you just stuck on Instagram, then please, Ozzy Simoes is my Instagram, name, feed, whatever. Okay, just go at Ozzy Simoes and subscribe there, because eventually I will not be on Facebook anymore. All right, so if you're watching me on Facebook, eventually I'm not going to be over there. I'm just going to focus on Instagram and YouTube. YouTube, it's Ozzy Simoes, same thing. I'm keeping obviously my name around across all the platforms, but Ozzy Simoes, and just subscribe. Go to the subscribe button. So if you're not, if you are an Instagram fan, but you also have YouTube, I strongly encourage you mostly to go on YouTube, because YouTube gives me and anybody that's on that platform a lot more tools, okay, to be able to grow the platform and help people. Why? Because I'm able to share my screen eventually and do all of that stuff, which Instagram doesn't really allow that. Okay. So, but Instagram and YouTube is very, very likely where I'm going to be doing these lives exclusively in the future, and not on Facebook. Okay. So, guys, I appreciate you being with me here today. Please, I super, super appreciate anybody that would ask questions. Even if you're seeing this recorded, please ask questions. If you don't ask questions, then, I don't know what's important to you. For me, I want to know what's important to you, to your life, to your business, okay, that I could possibly teach, and everybody can benefit from. All right. There's no stupid questions. The only stupid question is the one that you do not ask. Okay. That's the only stupid question that exists, is the question you do not ask. So please, do that. Tomorrow, I will see you at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. is where I'm going to start the live again in English. All right. And that's because of my schedule again. And then if you know anybody that is Hispanic, speaks Spanish, and is better served in the Spanish language, it's going to come now at 1 p.m. I'm going to start in Spanish. And then tomorrow at 7 p.m. will be Spanish. And if you know somebody that is Portuguese, whether Brazilian, mainland Portuguese, or Portuguese from any other, Portuguese country, then please share this with them. And that will be at 2 p.m. today, and then at 8 p.m. So yes, 8 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, that'll be Friday. And then next week, hopefully I can get into some strategies and really start teaching you a little bit more about things that are more pertinent to your business, and tools that you can use and grow your business and possibly get something started. All right, guys, close to 33 minutes, 34 minutes. And I shall see you tomorrow in tomorrow's live. Please share this with friends and family. Anybody that you feel like is going to be well served with this, please share them. And then let's get things rolling. Let's get America and the world going back to life, even though the pandemic is still around. And my prayers and my sentiments go out. My heart goes out to all the families of those that are suffering with somebody that may have passed or might be sick from the pandemic. All right. So please be with your loved ones. But again, if you really, 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 really want to help somebody in this time, you really need to have an open mindset. You really need to have an open mindset, or you're going to be stuck in a negative downward spiral mentality mindset, and you won't be able to help anybody. Okay, and that's my goal, is to try to get you out of that so that you can help others. Don't forget, my tagline, my motto, my everything is go. It's yours for the taking, because if you don't, somebody else is going to take what's yours, and you will not be able to get it because somebody else will have it. But hey, everything is in front of us. Everything is in front of you. Go. It's yours for the taking. I'll see you tomorrow.